General Hospital spoilers, Friday, November 14th, 2025. Carly's angry shutdown. Sonny gets grilled. Rick's legal trick. Port Charles woke to a sky that looked bruised, dark purple clouds smeared against cold November light. It was the perfect backdrop for the storm brewing inside the town's most dangerous families. At the center of that storm, Carly Spencer, already pacing her living room like a lioness cornered. 2 hours earlier she had received a phone call that made her blood pressure shoot through the ceiling. She didn't smash the phone, but only because the last time she did that, Bobby's picture on the fireplace fell and cracked the frame. Today, she needed her mother's memory looking over her shoulder. Not today, Carly muttered. Not Sonny. Not again. But today, of all days, Sonny Corinthos chose to push her limits. And at the same time, across town, Sonny sat in an interrogation room, jaw clenched, jaw ticking, undergoing a grilling he didn't expect. And deeper still inside the courthouse, Rick Lansing prepared a legal trick so dirty that even the judge wouldn't see it coming. Today's episode was about to explode. Roll opening theme. The Metro Court's elevators pinged softly as Carly marched out in a fitted black jacket, phone clutched in her hand like a weapon. Olivia Falconeri saw her from across the lobby and braced herself. Oh boy. Which Corinthos are we dealing with today? Olivia whispered under her breath. Carly marched directly toward her. You okay? Olivia asked carefully. I'm past okay. I'm done. Carly bit out the word. Sonny crossed a line. A big one. Olivia stiffened. Do I want to know which line? Carly checked her phone again. Another missed call, another text. All from the same person she didn't want to deal with. Sonny met with Rick, Carly said. Behind my back. Olivia nearly dropped her tablet. Rick? As in your ex-brother-in-law? As in the guy who buried you alive? Yep, Carly said flatly. That Rick. Olivia sat heavily on a chair. Why on earth? Carly didn't let her finish. Sonny thinks Rick can help fix one of his problems. And apparently, that problem involves, brace yourself, me. Olivia's eyes widened. Oh no. Absolutely not. No way. Carly's voice darkened. I told him I am not a problem to be managed. Not by him. Not ever again. Olivia put a hand on her shoulder. Carly, you know Sonny doesn't think straight when he's cornered. Cornered? Carly laughed without humor. He's not cornered. He's guilty. And Rick Lansing is the last person who needs to be anywhere near our lives. She took a deep breath and straightened her shoulders. I'm going to the station. Olivia blinked. Why? To shut this down, Carly said. To shut him down. Inside the PCPD, Sonny sat across from Detective Dante Falconeri and ADA Molly Lansing Davis. Yes, Sonny's son and Rick Lansing's daughter. The irony burned like acid. Dante tossed a folder on the table. We're doing this by the book, Sonny. I didn't do anything, Sonny snapped. Molly leaned forward. Funny. That's exactly what guilty people say. Sonny glared. Careful. Molly didn't flinch. I'm not 12 anymore. And your intimidation routine doesn't work on me. She opened another folder. Photos spilled out. Suspicious financial transfers. Calls between his burner phone and Rick. A GPS ping showing Sonny at Pier 47 the night a known informant vanished. Sonny's jaw flexed violently. Dante sighed. Dad, this is bad. We just want the truth. You already know the truth, Sonny said. I didn't hurt that man. But someone did, Molly countered. And Rick says you were involved. Sonny froze. What did you just say? He growled. Molly didn't blink. Rick claims you reached out to him for legal protection because you anticipated getting arrested. He says you expected a body to surface. That son of a... Sonny slammed a fist against the table. He's setting me up. Dante leaned forward. Then tell us everything. I'm done talking. Sonny leaned back. Get my lawyer. Which one? Molly asked sweetly. You have 3 on speed dial. Sonny glared. Not Rick Lansing. Good, Molly said coldly. Because Rick is already claiming attorney-client privilege. Dante swore under his breath. Sonny froze again. 2 seconds, then rage exploded across his features. That bastard, Sonny whispered. He's playing both sides. Meanwhile, in his office at the courthouse, Rick Lansing leaned back in his chair, legs crossed, a smug smile spreading across his face as he read through a confidential motion. This, Rick said aloud, is perfect. His assistant, a young paralegal named Trevor, peered nervously from the door. Mr. Lansing, is this really legal?
Rick smirked. Legal? Trevor, legality is interpretation. Strategy. Timing.
Know the rules, then bend them until they scream.
Trevor swallowed.
But you're filing to represent Sonny, and filing a motion that incriminates him at the same time.
It's not incriminating, Rick corrected lazily. It's clarifying.
Sonny contacted me, asked for protection, and referenced the informant at Pier 47. A judge doesn't need more than that to assume consciousness of guilt.
Trevor stared.
You're throwing him under the bus.
Rick gave him a sideways grin. Sonny Corinthos is not my client.
He's my opportunity. And Carly Spencer?
Trevor asked hesitantly.
Rick's eyes darkened with an old bitterness that had never died. Carly, he said slowly, owes me. Years ago, she destroyed my marriage, ruined Molly's childhood, and nearly cost me my daughter.
Port Charles pretends to forget. I don't.
So this is personal.
Rick smiled.
Everything is personal.
He picked up the motion.
With this, he said, admiring his own signature, I can take Sonny down, drag Carly into the mud, and boost my political career, all in one day.
Trevor shifted nervously.
And what happens when Carly finds out?
Rick's smile sharpened. She won't reach me in time. Cut to the courthouse doors bursting open. Carly Spencer storming inside, face on fire. Rick's smile vanished.
Rick stood up as Carly shoved the office door so hard it bounced against the wall. Well, speak of the devil.
Don't, Carly snapped.
Rick leaned against his desk, amused. To what do I owe this very loud surprise? Cut the crap. Carly slammed her hands on his desk. What did you tell Sonny? What did you pull?
Rick raised an eyebrow. Wow.
Straight to the confrontation. No hello. You don't deserve a hello, Carly spat. You barely deserve oxygen.
Trevor squeaked.
I'll just leave.
Yes, Trevor, Rick sighed.
Run. When the door closed, Carly leaned closer. You're trying to use Sonny to get to me, she said. But it won't work.
Rick shrugged casually. Sonny called me, Carly. Not the other way around.
You manipulated him.
I didn't have to, Rick replied.
Sonny's fear does the work for me.
Carly glared.
You're lying.
Am I? Rick said. Check his call log. Carly didn't answer.
She didn't have to, because that was exactly what she feared.
Rick smiled gently, mockingly. Oh, Carly.
After all these years, does it still burn you that Sonny trusts me more than he trusts you?
That hit hard. Too hard. Carly's voice softened dangerously. I'm warning you.
If you drag my family into this.
Drag. Rick laughed.
Carly, your family has always lived in the mud.
I'm just shining a light.
Carly slammed a hand across a stack of motions, sending papers flying. You don't get to rewrite the past, she shouted. You don't get to victimize us again. Rick stepped closer. And you don't get to stop what's already in motion.
He leaned in until their faces were inches apart. I filed the motion, Rick whispered. Sonny is trapped.
And if he goes down, he'll take you with him.
Carly didn't move. She didn't break.
But her breathing shook.
Lips trembling. She pushed past him abruptly and stormed out. Rick whispered to himself.
And that is checkmate. Outside the courthouse, Carly sat in her car gripping the steering wheel until her knuckles went white. Her entire life, all of it, was built on surviving men like Rick. Manipulators.
Liars. Users. She had clawed her way out every time. And she would again.
But first,
she needed to shut down the man who gave Rick the opening. Sonny. She called Diane.
Meet me at the station, Carly said.
Now.
It's time I shut this down. Diane Miller swept into the interrogation room like a hurricane of perfume, paperwork, and righteous fury. Sonny Corinthos, she snapped. What did you do?
Sonny glared.
Nothing. Then why, Diane continued coldly, is Rick Lansing across town filing motions on your behalf?
Sonny paled. He what?
Diane threw her briefcase open.
Rick claims you sought legal counsel.
He filed a protective motion, which Molly somehow already has a copy of, meaning you are being painted as a man expecting arrest.
Sonny stood.
Diane, listen.
No, Diane held up a hand.
I defend criminals, Sonny. I defend killers.
But I cannot defend stupidity.
And what you did falls squarely under stupidity.
Dante watched silently. Molly smirked. Sonny sat again, fists clenched.
It wasn't supposed to happen like this, Sonny muttered.
Diane exhaled slowly.
It never is. Before she could continue, the door opened.
Carly walked in. Calm. Controlled. Deadly.
Every person inside the room froze as Carly stepped in. Diane placed a steadying hand on Carly's back as she approached.
Sonny stood up involuntarily.
Carly.
Sit down, she ordered. He's Saturday. Even Dante blinked. Carly folded her arms.
Let me ask you one question, Sonny. Did you go to Rick?
Sonny's throat tightened.
Carly. Yes or no?
Yes, he admitted. But. She cut him off with a raised hand. That's it, Carly said.
That's the moment this stopped being my problem, and became yours.
Sonny looked gutted.
I was trying to protect you.
No, Carly said sharply.
You were trying to manage me.
And after everything we've been through?
After the life we built, lost, rebuilt, you still think you can handle me like I'm one of your broken business deals.
The room went silent. Even Dante looked away. Sonny swallowed.
Carly, I made a mistake.
No, Carly said again.
You made a choice. Sonny stared at her, eyes shining with a mixture of regret and rage.
I trusted you, Carly continued. And you brought Rick Lansing into our world again.
The one man who has tried to destroy me more times than I can count.
She leaned in closer.
So hear me clearly, I'm done fixing your messes. I'm done cleaning up after you. If Rick is coming for you, then you deal with him. Sonny whispered, Carly, please.
She stepped back.
We're not on the same side anymore.
The words hit like bullets.
Then she turned toward Diane. Get him out of this interrogation room, Carly said. But not for him.
For the kids. For Donna. For Avery.
They deserve to see their father home for Thanksgiving.
Diane nodded soberly. I'll handle it. Carly walked to the door. Stopped. Looked over her shoulder. And Sonny?
Don't you ever, bring Rick into my life again.
She left without another word.
Sonny sank into the chair, crushed. When Carly left, the atmosphere collapsed like a punctured balloon.
Dante cleared his throat. Dad. Sonny didn't look up.
I didn't mean for any of this, he whispered. Molly, who earlier had been smug and self-righteous, suddenly felt a strange pang of pity.
Rick used you, she said quietly.
He always uses people.
Sonny laughed darkly.
Tell me something I don't know.
Molly glanced at Dante. He's our father's brother.
But he's not family. Dante touched Sonny's shoulder gently. For what it's worth, Dante said, I believe you didn't hurt that informant.
Sonny's voice cracked. Thanks.
And I'll help Diane get you released, Dante added. But after today.
He exhaled.
You need to fix things with Carly.
Before you lose everything.
Back at the courthouse, Rick raised a champagne glass to himself. To justice, he said.
His assistant Trevor poked his head in. Mr. Lansing?
You might want to see this.
Rick frowned. What? Trevor turned on the courthouse live stream. Reporters were gathered outside the PCPD. Headlines blared across the screen.
Rick's face drained of color.
What? He whispered.
Trevor stammered. Molly publicly withdrew your motion. She said you fabricated attorney-client privilege.
Rick's heart stopped.
And now, Trevor added, voice higher, the judge is demanding your presence. Something about disciplinary review. Rick stood, breath shaking with fury.
Carly, he whispered.
She did this.
The Metro Court was quieter now.
The earlier storm clouds had finally broken, sunlight streaming across the marble floors in long golden rays. Carly walked in slowly, her energy completely changed. Strong. Centered. Controlled. Olivia rushed over. You okay? What happened?
Carly exhaled.
Everything.
And nothing.
Olivia stuttered her. You shut him down, didn't you?
Carly nodded.
This time, Carly said softly, Sonny crossed my line. And I'm not crossing it for him. Olivia squeezed her hand. I'm proud of you.
Carly closed her eyes briefly. This isn't over. Rick thinks he won. Sonny thinks he lost.
But the truth. She opened her eyes, cold, clear, steady. This is only the beginning.
Camera pans out over Port Charles. Storm clouds clearing. But more storms coming. Fade to black.